Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Valentine's Day. Well, today I just want to kind of talk about being in action with God. And I hope that this will persuade you or challenge you to step up in your life. And then I'm going to ask some questions to Boy Scouts. If you can help me out. What is the Scout Law? Someone want to answer it for me? Stand up and say it. Anybody? Okay, if y'all couldn't hear that, the Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Okay, and then if someone will say the Scout motto. Josh, what's the Scout motto?
You gotta know after we say it.
Anybody else want to say it? Prepared? Okay, and then does anybody know the Scout slogan? Yes. And then the Scout slogan is do a good turn daily. And I really think that these concepts that you learn in Scouting are very relevant to your Christian walk and your Christian faith. So, Harrison read the James, but I have another verse I would like to add. And it's the 24th verse. And it says, "Is it not evident that a person is made right with God, not by barren faith, but by faith fruitful in works?" So I think that adds to that. As most of you know, I'm an Eagle Scout. And so I learned these concepts in Scouting from an early age, early on. However, I did not fully appreciate everything I learned in Scouting and relate it back to my Christian faith until probably just the last couple of days when I was trying to think of something to talk about today. And after rereading and going back over the Scout Law, because I've forgotten some of the words to the Scout Law, and so I had to go back and review and learn myself again the words for the Scout Law. And the Scout slogan, I always never could remember the Scout slogan. So I went back and reviewed these things, and I typed in Google, like, being prepared and being a good, like, I don't remember exactly what my search phrase was, but then this, one of the Bible verses, like one of the verses popped up from James, and so that's how I found this to talk about. And then James discusses that just because you talk that you love God and you talk about doing things for God doesn't necessarily mean that you're a Christian or that you are doing the best way that you can do. And like Harrison said last week, you may be able to talk the talk, but can you actually walk the walk? And I feel like this scripture goes really good with that whole phrase, because it's not necessarily how you talk, but it's also how your actions deal with how you go about your life. Because people, like, even though you talk about things, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, because if you go against that by your actions, then how are people going to view you? It changes drastically how you can be viewed and how people change their opinion of Christians based off of people that say one thing but act a completely different way. In Scouts, I always viewed it as preparing me in leadership capabilities, in being able to do outdoorsy activities, and my major now is park and recreation management, so I found Boy Scouts was a very useful concept and part of my life, and I feel like it has contributed to my change in major. And also, the last 2 summers, I have served as an outpost counselor at Buffalo Mountain Camp, which is affiliated with Methodist Church. And this coming summer, I will be outpost director. So this being in Scouts has helped me with this and doing outpost stuff because it involves a lot of outdoorsy things. However, I didn't take into consideration how much scouting does deal with God and all these concepts that we've talked about so far is that you can increase your love of God through your actions and through these concepts of being trustworthy and loyal and helpful and friendly, and courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And then also doing a good turn daily. And one of the phrases from the scripture was, God talk without God acts is outrageous nonsense. I really believe this, that not only do you have to talk to God in prayer and talk about God to other people, but you have to show the love of God to other people by your actions, by how you treat them, by how you do things for them. By doing selfless acts, I really feel like people will see you in a lot better light than just your talking, because your action can be so much more powerful than what your words can be. And then, as the slogan says, it says to do a good turn daily. And doing a good turn daily doesn't necessarily have to be going on a mission trip or building a house or just any huge thing. It can be very simple and just very easy. And doing a good turn daily, I take back and use it as a God work, because I think it goes hand in hand to that. Just because doing a good turn daily is a Scout slogan, it doesn't mean that it's taken out from doing it in your Christian faith. And so at camp, this past summer, we were doing John Wesley's 3 rules, which is do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God. Well, on the do good day, I always talk to my kids about there are so many easy, simple acts that you can do to show the love of God to other people. And I know it sounds cheesy, but I always tell my kids that even just smiling to someone else can make that person have such a much better day. Because smiling is contagious, I think. And when you smile to someone, you might not have any idea what's going on in their life. They might not even want to talk to you or anything. But by just smiling to them, and a lot of times they're going to at least smile back to you. Or even if they don't smile back to you, later on that day, they could possibly smile to someone else. And so it just keeps going and going. And so it just makes people's lives a lot better. And then you can, just by being friendly and helping other people at school, for people that are going to school, you can pick it, if someone drops their notebook or anything, you can help pick it up and just return it to them, Here you go, it's not a big deal. Just something simple and easy can make a big difference in those people's lives.